In this video, I'm going to show you how you pull Sulfuric Graveyard most efficiently, and how you pull both the Graveyard and the Scarabs in one pull. First, I'm going to show you how to enter the Graveyard most efficiently and also pretty safe. This is also durable in hardcore. However, if you've not tried this before, I would not try it in hardcore. It definitely takes some practice to get used to, but once you've got it down, I would argue it's even safer than like being in the open world, because in here most stuff is in your control. Here you're just gonna take the same route as I am. It is to avoid the most mobs possible. If a mob is close to you, you'll just turn so your back is not facing them, so you can't get dazed. This is the first reset spot. However, we're just gonna run through it to save like 30 seconds to a minute. We're also going to try to avoid many of these melee packs. The Shadow Balls doesn't really matter. You can just line up sight them most of the time. However, it's the dazes from melee mobs that is really going to scuff our run. Here we enter the Scarab section. We're just gonna run through here. There's also a couple of reset spots we could use. For example, behind the vases in there. We had a bit of an unfortunate pathing from the boss, which means we took a few more hits than we intended, but it's fine. We're just gonna shield up here and get to the boss as soon as possible. Also going to drink a potion here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just to get some HP back. I'm gonna pull the boss instantly, so all of the zombies run to him as I open the graves. And I'm gonna do this before I reset the instance, just to save even more time. This is the first reset spot, and this is to reset the entire instance that is still following us, and reset the Sulfuric zombies. To be efficient, I could have just bandaged here to get my HP up, and as soon as I see my my food bar light up, telling me that I'm out of combat, I should just start opening the other graves. That could also save me a bit of time. But I'm standing around, just making sure that everything's clear. Also, that totem doesn't really matter. I'll start opening these other packs here. Keeping on your armor here doesn't really matter too much. Your mage armor and all that stuff. Just wastes a bit of mana, but it's all good. And I open this grave on the corner here and jump up. If you're unlucky, the mob patrolling the corridor can be a shadow hunter, meaning they have bows and arrows and they're going to shoot you on this particular reset spot. If that happens, you're just going to blink over to the reset spot in the corner. And if you don't know it, I'm going to show it to you once I've pulled the Scarabs. And you would just jump down from that fountain, Nova, blink to stay safe. Here I'm going to polymorph the patrol, just so he's not going to mess with me when I'm pulling these Scarabs. This room is like a square, so I see it's like in 4 sections. That's section 1, that's section 2, 3, and 4 right there. I didn't get the counter spell off on that last mob. However, if you do that, it's just very nice and clean, but I think the social aggro should take care of them. Also, you don't need to do that cone, I just wanted to group them a little bit. Here I open the remaining packs. And because I coned, I'm a bit behind, so I didn't get that last grave. Again, doesn't matter, not worth risking your run. Just over that. Here I jump up, and this is doable on basically any race, except for maybe gnomes. What you'll do in that case, you just buy a Deviate Delight, or you'll wait for your mount to be up, or you just run around the entire mountainside. However, that is going to de-aggro the Scarabs, so if you're not able to do that particular jump, you are not going to get the Scarabs. It's still insanely efficient to do it. However, doing it with Scarabs is just way better. And as you can see, the Scarabs at the bottom stopped because I was under the other pillar over there, and that is some sort of reset spot until they're able to get up here. So just be aware of that. Try to get them grouped as soon as possible so you don't lose any of the mobs. And if you're unlucky and you get a Shadow Hunter up here from patrolling the corridors, you have to reset, and you cannot get the Scarabs anymore. Unless you like blink through packs, but I wouldn't do that in hardcore. Also notice where I have these mobs right there on like the mountain. I think it's a good spot because you can really group them up, and they won't move very much because you can just jump to the other side and keep blizzarding. I think this is the most efficient way of doing it because you can get more blizzards off a minute. However, if you're playing hardcore, you want to let them run to this ledge, as I'm showing you here, and then you'll blizzard them like this. This gives you a bit more time to like get them grouped up. I would jump back now and then blizzard again. And that also means that if you fail to jump, you'll have time to get back up. If I fail now, I won't have time. You can also see the thought of like running towards me right there, because once I'm in the air, the game registers me as being like on the floor down below. So the mobs will start running towards me, and that means that the back section is able to like get clumped up nice and tightly. However, just doing it with Blizzard, you don't really need to worry about that because they're going to be grouped anyway. So this is just the name of the game, jumping back and forth here. Try to make clever use of your Mage armor, which needs to be up at all time, your mana pots, your mana gems. Try to get an Evo off every single pull, just to get that mana regen. And then you should be able to kill them in no time. It's just important to not panic if a mob breaks through your blizzard. Just keep blizzarding, and once he's close, you just jump over and keep blizzarding, because he's just going to run back into the pack and you'll be fine. Here I try to use a flame strike, which is also pretty good to do. I feel like it does a lot of damage and it's very efficient. However, I think it's just way safer and easier just to blizzard. It doesn't require that much mental gymnastics to do that. Also, I would consider to get out the instance quickly. Can run out, however, that's also a bit risky because you are open to a lot of like Shadow Ball casts, etc. So what I usually do is I go to /who and I invite a random person and leave the group before they can accept. This guy was already in the group, and this will teleport me out to my innkeep, and I just put my innkeep in gadgets in, so I can just sell there and put stuff in the bank, and then I'm ready to go farm again. It's faster to run out yourself, but especially if you're playing hardcore, you probably don't want to do that. And as you can see, the XP per hour is 252k and around 3 gold, just raw gold right there. And you can also get like another lot of nice drops in here that you can sell in the auction house. For example, I got the bow when I did it with my brother. And that was a nice little bonus for the run. Apart from that, I'll show you my gear here in a sec. I have a lot of dungeon gear, so I'm pretty decently geared for this, especially. But I'd say, for example, my shoulders with like spell damage and my weapons, I would argue that just getting intellect and spirit gear is more beneficial than all these. So you can definitely get just as fine gear as me by going to the auction house.